Hey kids, today it is Dan from the FMV Archives, and we are reviewing Crimebound Chronicles, released by Prestige in May of 2025. Now, most of our reviews, we go in an in-depth analysis and look at 10 different factors that make the game great or not great. This time, we're not going to do that. Why are we not doing that? Because Crimebound Chronicles is not a game. It should not be sold as a game. The PlayStation Network, any place that sells games, should not allow this thing to be sold. Not just because it's not very much fun. There are games that are not very gamey, like Late Shift. They're still a lot of fun because they're done really well. This is an abomination of a game. No one should pay the $2.99 for it. Anyone that did pay the $2.99 for it should get a refund. I will say it is the easiest platinum that I ever got for trophies on the PlayStation Network, because there's nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do. You may think, oh boy, I'm being a little bit harsh. No, there is no harshness in this. Let's start with the sound design. This is the worst sound design I have ever had in a video game.
Seen photographs from the Premier Plaza office complex, where the body of international investment banker Thomas Blackwood
is to focus on the forensic evidence.
The music is at a 10, the speaking volume is at like an 8. So you're constantly trying to hear what the people are saying. I think that they knew it was so bad, so they put closed captioning in for every one of the scenes because they knew you couldn't actually hear what was being said. So instead of fixing the sound design, they just put in closed captioning. So what's this game? So what actually is Crimebound Chronicles? It is a game in which you are given 3 murders, and then you are supposed to solve these 3 murders. But there is no solving anything. All it is a voiceover. It's like, think of the worst Discovery ID murder porn that there is, and this is it, but at like 2% of the budget. It is just regular B-roll that is shown over a voiceover. You don't do any investigating. It is just a voiceover over really bad B-roll. That's all this game is. So you get these clues and you think, oh, you have to pick a suspect at the end? Yes, you do. But regardless whether that is the right suspect or not, they just give you the answer. Oh, it was obviously... and it inserts the person's name. So if you pick the wrong one, at least in case files, the death of Paulette Williams, while it is a bare bones game, there is at least an explanation at the end of who you choose as the actual culprit. Guy that's working with you in the police department, he'll be like, I think we got that one wrong. This one, there is no, I think you got one wrong. It's just a canned response regardless of who you pick. It does not matter whatsoever. Any of the 3 suspects you pick, you get the same answer. That's it. There are no choices in this game. They try to veil it as choices, but they don't make any difference. You're just watching a video that every once in a while you hit next chapter. You watch all the clues whether you want to or not, and you have to because the game's only 45 minutes long. We have the full playthrough here. I wanted to put it up there just so you knew how bad this was. I'd like to say that the acting is bad, but there is no acting. It is just people walking around the background. You know how I know it's cheap is because they have people in masks and glasses so you can't see who they are. So they recycle them in every one of these episodes. I guarantee it's the detectives that are in this are playing the people that are doing the investigative work as well, which I'd like to say that they're acting. They're not. They're just swiveling stuff in front of their face. And this brings me to one of the other points of it. They recycle scenes in this one too and don't bother to switch them regardless of what the actual story is. In the first one, there's a murder in the woods. So guess what you're doing? There are guys that you see in the background picking up leaves, looking at broken branches, taking tire samples. Okay, that makes sense. The next murder takes an apartment. And while the voiceover is telling you that they are finding clues in this apartment building and picking up fibers from the carpet,
trace evidence includes high-end carpet fibers from the rival firm's office building, indicating Schmidt may have been at the scene before the murder occurred. The fibers, which match those found on his cloak. The bruising marks on the victim suggest controlled and precise force.
They're showing you the scenes from outside. They don't even bother to change it. They don't add more B-roll to it. What's even worse, there are terrible, terrible edits in this one. The edits are really bad. The woman's just cut off mid-talking. Sometimes the scenes just progress even though you don't hit the button to make them speed through. One of the other ones that really bothered me, there are mistakes in the stories. They mix up the people's names in it. I believe the first woman that dies is Koval or Kovac. They start calling her Marlowe.
Time Elena Marlowe published her revelation. The developer's world was falling apart.
Marlowe's in the next story. He's one of the suspects in the next story. You messed up the names and you forgot to even change them. You didn't even play your own damn game to make sure you were saying all the right stuff. I played this again because I was like, after Act 1, I was like, it has to matter who I pick. There has to be a different ending. No different endings. It's all the same. Act 3 is just as bad of all the other ones, but what makes this one terrible, the confession that you get from the guy, which he does confess before you pick who you think did it, so it really kind of defeats the purpose. Cops beat the crap out of this guy to get the confession, so it might not even be a real confession. There's police brutality leading to a confession. You're just like, good enough for me. It all sorts itself out in the end, I suppose. And then it's supposed to be a surprise when you pick him at the end of the act and be like, yeah, I think this is the guy who did it. Oh, no shit, it is. The guy that you beat a confession out of, that's who you arrested. There are no spaces sometimes in between the scenes in here. Sometimes it just goes. Sometimes it doesn't finish the actual reading of the story because they are reading it to you because of the closed captioning. It is absolutely pathetic. They should be ashamed about releasing this game and charging people for it. The least you can do if you're going to do a game that is literally just video and no choosing whatsoever, the least that you can do is make sure that it does everything it's supposed to correctly, that you have the right people's names in the game. Holy cow, what a novel idea that would be. Bad sound design, bad editing, bad acting, bad everything in this game. Bad Playstige. Very disappointed in you. And you know what? Cursed Feed, not a bad game. Super short too, but again, it's $1.50, I think. So you're not expecting that much. But that's a 45-minute game that there's actually some scares in it, and it's not bad. This is nothing. This is a 45-minute Discovery ID pilot. That's all this is, and it is not done well. Discovery ID would not pick this one up. And neither should you. So stay away. The final score for this one is 0. Absolutely nothing redeeming about this. The final verdict. Stay the hell away from this one. And I would, you know what, I'm banning Playstige. I'm never buying another one of their games. This is so bad that you just won't come back to this one again. Fool me once, fool me twice. No, you're not getting a second chance on this one. It is so bad that Playstige actually offered to give me my money back on Twitter. I said this game is Abomination. They're like, we'll give you a code for another game. I'll put it up here. I don't want another one from this one. It's that bad. But hopefully I'll save you the $3. If you want more FMV news, or at least to be able to save a few bucks, we will try to do that for you to make sure you don't buy this crap. Hit like and subscribe. That really helps us out. Thank you. Have a good one.